So y'all thought the BET Awards was just about music and red carpets?
Nah.
Last night, it turned into a full-blown maternity war zone collision. Because while folks were clapping for performances and fake smiles, Claressa Shields took the mic, smirked, rubbed her stomach, and said, "I'm pregnant, and yes, it's Papoose's."
Skull. Boom.
The crowd froze. The stage lights dimmed, and Remy Ma collapsed like her knees gave out.
Gone.
Dropped like a Wi-Fi signal in the Bronx. Cameras cut away, but the damage was already done. 1 second it was an award show. The next, it was a live Maury episode. Papoose stood there like someone unplugged his soul. Easy the block, Captain. Already ghost. 50 Cent, posting popcorn eyes like he wrote the script. And let's not forget, this ain't Claressa's first knockout. But this one left Remy laid out. The internet was in flames. BET producers sobbing backstage. You want to know what really went down? Because baby, this was just the beginning. Let's break it all the way down. Let's rewind the tape and start at the very beginning. Because this wasn't just a random moment at the BET Awards.
No.
This was months in the making. A slow-cooked mess, seasoned with tension, ego, and silent betrayal. The audience had no idea what was bubbling under the surface when Claressa Shields showed up that night, dressed in a crisp white silk gown that hugged her curves and made a statement without saying a word. Claressa wasn't just there to clap for rappers. She had something to say. And baby, when she said it, she didn't stutter. But to understand how we even got to this moment, this on-stage bombshell, we need to unpack the boiling triangle that's been quietly burning between Claressa, Papoose, and Remy Ma for months now. Remember just a year ago when Papoose and Remy Ma were considered the last standing hip-hop love story? They survived prison, public cheating rumors, awkward interviews, and even Easy the Block Captain's thirsty Instagram lives. Through it all, they kept giving fans that ride-or-die energy. But behind closed doors, things were falling apart. Whispers of Remy's alleged affair with Easy weren't just barbershop talk. They became headlines. And when Pap stepped out at a red carpet event with Claressa Shields just weeks later, wearing matching black fits and sharing awkward giggles, the internet went from curious to chaotic. At first, folks said Claressa was just a friend of the family. Someone Papoose was mentoring on the business side. But people weren't buying it. Why was this friend always around? Why was Remy Ma suddenly moving solo to events she once attended hand-in-hand with Papoose? And why was Easy suddenly quiet after being the loudest one in the room for months? The BET Awards were supposed to be a night of music, unity, and celebration. But the real show wasn't on the schedule. It was hidden in the front row, waiting to explode. As cameras rolled, Claressa was introduced by a presenter for a simple shout-out segment, something about celebrating women in sports. Nothing controversial. Nothing explosive, until she took the mic, paused, and without flinching, dropped a 7-word sentence that shook the building. "I'm pregnant, and yes, it's Papoose's." The silence that followed was unreal. Audience members glanced at each other like someone had pressed mute on the entire theater. Papoose, seated just off stage, looked stunned. Not shocked, but stunned. Like a man who knew this announcement was coming, but not like this. What made it worse? The camera panned, and there she was, Remy Ma, in a red floor-length gown, visibly gasping. Eyes wide, lips parted, frozen in disbelief. For a second, it looked like she might get up and walk away with dignity. But no. Her hand went to her mouth, then her chest, and then she just crumbled, slumped forward like all the air had been knocked out of her. BET staff rushed over. Viewers watching the live stream said the shot quickly cut to commercial. But audience cell phones kept rolling. One fan's TikTok clip showed Remy being helped out of her seat and carried backstage, barely conscious. The video now has over 8 million views. Let's be clear, this wasn't Claressa's first time shaking up a stage. But never like this. According to one anonymous source close to BET production, the network had no idea she was going to say that. Security had already been told to keep an eye on her because she seemed emotionally on edge backstage. Allegedly, she had been pacing, whispering into her phone and repeating the phrase, "I'm done hiding." Another insider claimed she was crying in her dressing room just an hour before going on stage. So, was this a planned reveal? Or a raw emotional explosion in real time? The internet can't decide. Papoose, meanwhile, has said nothing. Zero. Not even a head nod. After the moment aired, he reportedly left the theater through a side door with 2 BET handlers and didn't return. Some fans claim he was spotted at a nearby hotel bar just 45 minutes later, sipping on something dark and alone. No Claressa, no Remy, just him, staring at his phone. Others insist he had been spending more time with Claressa long before this reveal, and that the baby news was simply karma hitting Remy back for her own entanglements. But that raises an uncomfortable question. Is this really about love, or is it revenge? Was Claressa just tired of being called the side chick by trolls on social media? Or was this a power move to claim space in a spotlight Remy's held for years? And why now? Why here? The BET Awards is no stranger to drama, but this felt personal. Not staged, not orchestrated, just messy, raw, and dripping with unfiltered energy. Even 50 Cent chimed in on Twitter with a now-deleted post that read, "Told y'all these rap marriages don't last. Should've bet on Shields." By the time Remy was helped out of the venue, cameras caught her whispering something to her assistant. Lip readers online claimed she said, "She stole everything from me." Others say it was, "He lied to me the whole time." Whatever it was, she was done. No interviews, no statements, just silence. Meanwhile, Claressa was spotted backstage smiling, one hand on her stomach, the other holding her BET guest pass like a trophy. Her team denied requests for comment, but posted a cryptic story later that night with the caption, "Strong enough to speak, stronger to carry." Despite the noise, Claressa wasn't hiding. The next morning, she posted a glowing selfie on her Instagram with the caption, "I said what I said." She was in a bathrobe, no makeup, no filters, a half-visible baby bump under the robe. And in the background, the BET trophy, still on her dresser. The comment section? Nuclear. Half support, half dragging, all engaged. People couldn't stop watching. And that's when the story took its next twist. Because just as things looked like they might cool down, a second video surfaced. One even more explosive. Shot from the left side of the stage, an angle not seen in any live stream. It captured Remy Ma getting up and trying to rush Claressa as she walked off stage after the announcement. It wasn't a run, more like a fast, emotional stumble. Claressa didn't even look back. Security stepped in. Hands were raised. What looked like a purse hit the floor. Then, the feed cuts. Who leaked the second video? No one knows. But it came watermarked with the words, "Backstage eyes only," and a timestamp matching the BET Awards broadcast. So now the question shifted from, why did she do it? To who let this leak?
Was it BET?
A rogue staffer? A friend of Claressa's? Or someone trying to sabotage both women at once? Because if there's one thing we've learned, scandals like these aren't random. They're precision-cut explosions, planned, planted, and timed to perfection. And just when it felt like the entire internet had taken sides, and the story couldn't possibly get worse, BET released a statement. A statement that shocked everyone. BET released a statement, and it wasn't the safe, sugar-coated, legal-filtered message people were expecting. Instead, it was a direct, brutally short post on their official account that read, "We do not condone unsanctioned personal announcements during live broadcasts. The incident at this year's BET Awards is currently under internal review. More to come." Internal review. The internet went wild. Did that mean they were going to ban Claressa? Sue her? Censor future presenters? Or was it a coded way of admitting they knew something was going to happen and let it happen anyway? Fans started digging. Some claimed that a leaked schedule from a BET showrunner showed a surprise celebrity segment slotted right before the next musical performance. That segment? It was labeled simply, CS statement. People immediately interpreted that to mean Claressa had actually gotten BET approval for the mic time, meaning this wasn't sabotage. It was an inside job. Theories flew faster than retweets. Some said BET did it for ratings. Others said Claressa blackmailed them. A few claimed Remy was originally scheduled to speak in that time slot and was replaced at the last minute. The fallout didn't stop at BET. By day 2, Claressa Shield had gone from boxing champ to full-blown tabloid headline queen. Morning shows debated the ethics of her reveal. Podcasts broke down the footage frame by frame like it was a crime scene. Legal analysts weighed in, questioning whether Remy Ma might have grounds for an emotional distress lawsuit if the backstage altercation escalated further. One fake legal expert even appeared on a fake daytime court segment claiming Claressa's statement was intentionally harmful public exposure, likening it to defamation. Though most people quickly pointed out, it's hard to defame someone when you're literally having their husband's child. Meanwhile, Papoose was spotted for the first time since the announcement. alone again walking out of a New Jersey lounge, hoodie up, head down. TMZ-style paparazzi video captured a few seconds of him being asked, "Is it true? Are you really the father?" He didn't respond, just got in a black SUV and left. But the look on his face? Haunted, like a man who lost more than control. He lost both women in one night. As for Remy Ma, she still hadn't spoken. No tweets.
No posts.
No appearances. But the silence only made the speculation louder. Fans started recirculating old clips of her interviews, looking for signs of emotional cracks. One viral mashup showed Remy in various public appearances from the past year, where she seemed distant from Papoose, not holding his hand, not smiling in sync, not finishing his sentences like she used to. People started saying, "She knew. She just didn't want us to know she knew." Even radio hosts picked it up, running entire shows on the psychology of betrayal and whether public figures should be allowed private breakdowns. Then came the brand deals. One after another, endorsements started reacting. A jewelry company that had worked with Remy Ma posted a cryptic message: "We support healing, not hostility." Meanwhile, Claressa's team announced she had just signed a mid-six-figure deal with a maternity wear brand, celebrating powerful women and new beginnings. A coincidence? Or a calculated move to ride the wave while the fire was still burning? But then, just when things seemed like they might settle, a third video leaked. This one, by far, was the most shocking. The clip, only 14 seconds long, showed a close-up view from a side-stage camera. It was grainy, but real. In it, Claressa could be seen talking to Papoose right before she walked out on stage. She wasn't nervous. She wasn't emotional. She was smiling.
Calm.
Focused. She said something to him, no audio, and then tapped his chest lightly before heading out into the spotlight. Viewers lip-read the moment and swore she said, "Now they'll all know." That changed the narrative overnight. Because up until that point, some had painted Claressa as emotional, impulsive, overwhelmed.
But now
it looked like a premeditated, coldly calculated takedown, not just of Remy, but of the entire Papoose, Remy mythos. The perfect love story, destroyed by a single sentence on live TV. And then finally, Remy Ma broke her silence. Late on the third night, she went live on Instagram for just over 6 minutes. No music, no intro, just her, sitting on her living room couch in a hoodie. No makeup, eyes red. She didn't say much. She didn't scream or cry. She just stared into the camera and said, "I spent years rebuilding myself, only to have someone else use my pain as their announcement. This ain't about no baby. This is about humiliation. And trust me, I'm not done." Then she ended the live. No Q&A. No follow-up. It was enough to reignite everything. The comments exploded. "She's coming for revenge. Book the Verzeus now. Sis, leak the receipts." And leak she allegedly did. Just hours later, screenshots surfaced of DMs supposedly between Claressa and a mystery man, not Papoose. The texts were flirty, suggestive, and dated just weeks before the BET Awards. The captions, "Don't worry, it's not his. Just need to make a statement." The authenticity was never confirmed, but once again, truth didn't matter. The idea was enough. Now people were questioning everything. Was the pregnancy announcement even real? Was Papoose actually the father? Had Claressa hijacked the moment for attention, leverage, and revenge? By day 4, public sentiment had split into full-blown camps, Team Remy versus Team Claressa. Entire Twitter spaces were dedicated to dissecting timelines, comparing outfit choices, analyzing old lyrics, and drawing connections where none existed. Memes flooded every platform. Edits of Remy walking out of frame while Claressa stood on stage glowing became daily reposts. Influencers started using the scandal in their content. Makeup tutorials titled, "The Remy Breakdown Look" reaction videos titled, "Claressa's baby reveal got me shook." And just when you thought we'd reached peak absurdity, BET themselves released a teaser trailer, an upcoming docuseries titled, "Unscripted, Behind the Mic." It featured behind-the-scenes moments from the awards, including a quick flash of Claressa being mic'd up before the show.